For this video, I want to talk about time management, and I'm going to do that from inside my course for fall, DMPT 1020, which is Introduction to Photography. I'm just going to use a class to show you, because the techniques I'm going to share with you are going to not be additional work beyond the work you should already be doing for your assignments. They're just better ways to manage your time so that you can meet your deadlines and submit better work so you can get better grades. Because at the end of the day, let's just be honest, grades are equivalent to paychecks. If you get an A grade, that's equivalent to an A paycheck. And if you get an F, that's equivalent to a client saying, I'm not going to pay you because this is not what I asked for. Design is a very service-oriented field. We are solving other people's design problems. We are creating something that they're going to use in their campaign, their event, their, gosh, I could keep going, right? So they're all types of things that they're working on, their projects. And what we do for them is imperative that we meet their criteria. And so when clients come to you, they're always going to give you a brief. So when you get the criteria for your labs, your projects, your assignments, you should consider those the brief, the information that the client gives you. Those are non-negotiables. You can do, within reason, anything you want, as long as you can justify it. We can talk more about that later. But you get a lot of creative latitude. But you cannot change the things that the client has told you they absolutely need. And here's why. If I come to you, I'm your client, and I say, I need you to produce a .mov document for me, because I know that I'm going to take that document and give it to someone else that's going to upload it, and that is the format they need, and you send me a .avi file, I can't use it, right? So it's really important that you make sure you are meeting the requirements of the brief. What is the format? What is the deadline? Because your deadlines are tied to your client's deadlines. You miss your deadlines, they miss their deadlines. They are now out time, money, reputation, and probably so are you. Because if they've lost money, they're not going to pay you for the work you just did. So it's really, really important to make sure that you are clear on your assignments, what you're doing before you start any work. Because if you spend a lot of time doing something that the client can't use or they don't need, now you have wasted your time. And once you get out there and you're doing this as a business, you're doing this to feed yourself, time is money. So one of the most important things you need to do before you do anything else is make sure you have fully read your assignment. As visual kinesthetic learners, the science out of Stanford University is very, very clear. Write on paper with a pencil notes or a pen or whatever, crayon, whatever you like to write with. Doesn't matter. The key is that you take notes. The process of doing that forces your conscious brain to be in the moment that you're writing it down, and it helps put it into your memory, not only short term but long term. So the more things that you can take notes, the more things that get carved into your permanent memory, and that really helps you in the long run. Okay? So first thing you want to do, you're going to start your brand new assignments, and you want to make sure you understand the criteria, the data, everything that's expected. Now, you see, the first place I've gone in this course isn't to course content, it's to my calendar. Okay? Calendar's over here on my toolbar, clicked on it, and I've gone ahead and gone to August. Now, I've turned off everything else in here. You see, I have a lot of classes in here, but I went ahead and turned off everything else except this class. And here's my class right here. It's the only one checked. So these are the only deadlines I'm going to see, because I'm going to focus on this class. Despite what you've heard, humans are not good at multitasking. You can switch between tasks, but you lose time in translation. You're going to lose a little bit in the end, a little bit in the translation, and a little bit at the beginning of the next task. Ideally, you want to pick one task, pick a chunk of time that you're going to work on it, and focus on that, because you will do a better result than if you try to manage multiple things. Trust me, I grew up at a time when I was listening to the radio and my brothers had the TV on and my mother was on the phone and all these things were going on and I was doing my homework. and I thought I was doing a great job. But the reality is I made mistakes because of all the other things going on that were distracting me. So as much as possible, you want to dedicate your focus to one thing at a time. Okay? So we're going to start with this whole course, turn everything else off. All I can see right now is that teal blue color. The first day of the semester is the 17th. That's a Monday. So first day of fall semester, and I put that in there. You can click on a day on the calendar and create an event. And it has times in here that you can pick. You can also associate it with another course, but I'm sticking with this one. You can put times in here, or you can check all day, and you can give yourself notes. And then when you hit save, voila, there it is on your calendar, so that when you go back to look at it later, it will be there. Click on it, and I can delete it, okay, because I don't need to know it's the second day of the semester. All right, so I've got my first day of the semester, and now I can see that from the first day of the semester to my first assignment, how many days I have. And as visual people, this is really beneficial because I now know visually how much time I have. And this is no longer now an abstract concept. I can see it. I can see I've got 1, 2, 3. Whoops, sorry, I keep pointing my finger, forgetting you all can't see that. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days until my first assignment is due. And if I click on that assignment, I believe it will take you all to this. It's telling me I can edit it. I can now see details of that assignment. Now, if you don't want to work in this calendar, you can transfer this to your Outlook calendar that you have through your student email account. Just make deadlines, make assignments, because this one unfortunately doesn't give you reminders. It doesn't give you hey, you've got a day to get this done. And we can talk about that in a subsequent video about transferring these to Outlook, but that's one way to keep up with your deadlines. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next month. And again, I can see my subsequent deadlines and when they're due. And this gives me ample opportunity to plan time around it. Now, one of the things I highly recommend you do is come in here and say, I'm going to spend 3 days a week for 2 hours working on this. Now, we'll talk in a future video about how to determine how much time. But for now, I just want you to be able to start blocking out chunks of time that you're going to dedicate to working on this course. When you do that, when you set those blocks of time, you are investing in yourself. You are. Because the sooner you get started on your project, the sooner your brain, your big unconscious mega brain, starts working on your projects for you. Even when you're not paying attention, even when you're asleep, even when you're doing other things, the sooner you put that information in your brain, the sooner your unconscious brain starts processing it. It starts solving the problem, because that's its main function, is to problem solve. So you put that information into your brain for what your assignment is the very first day you get this, and your brain's going to start working on it. If you wait to this day right here, if you wait to this day right here to start working on this, you have lost 9 days that your unconscious brain could have been processing and working on this assignment. And that's a lot of time to lose. So for those of you that procrastinate, the best piece of advice I can give you is to get started as soon as you get something. The very least, read it. Okay, so let's just go to that assignment. See, I think I could go to it from here. Okay, here's the assignment. Actually, I don't want it in that format. Let me go back and get it down here. Okay, here's my assignment. And there's information here on what the assignment is. And okay, that's just the Dropbox. Okay, back here, here's the assignment. Right? So read this. Read your assignment. Now your brain is getting started to work. It's going to start thinking about things and start coming up with ideas. You can never do that the day before it's due. You will not have the necessary time to work on this. Okay? So I'm going to stop this video here, and we'll continue in the next video.